بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء المرسلين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم. Alhamdulillah, we will start the new series which called Women Mentioned in the Quran. So we will start with some women mentioned in the Quran and we talk about them briefly and bring you some ayat in Arabic and in English that you can follow with us, inshallah. We have here with us Sister Fatima, again from Maryland, mashallah. She will be explaining some ayat and we'll be following with her with some questions, inshallah. So today's first women mentioned in the Quran that we chose is Maryam alayhi salam.
Jazakallahu khairan, Zainab. Jazakallahu khairan for inviting me again. I really enjoying telling stories, and it's nice that we talk about women's, especially on this time. You know, we need to know about our role models and how we can follow them and how we can be benefit from their life, and then put it in our own life and see how we can, you know, be closer to this kind of women's, inshallah. Or we can
women, mashallah. Yes.
Or we stay away from the women that Allah Azza wa Jal tell us to stay away from them, subhanallah.
Yes, subhanallah. Okay, Sister Fatima, we'll start inshallah with Maryam alayhi salam. Mary mentioned the Quran several times. Who's Maryam alayhi salam? Who was her father? Who was her mom? What was the beginning of her story when she was a child?
نعم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Maryam radiallahu anha story start from almost the beginning of the Quran, from Surah Al Imran, and that's the third surah in the Quran, the order of the Quran. And then Allah Azza wa Jal give her like a good chapter in the surah, like a couple of ayat, subhanallah, Azza wa Jal talk about her before even she born. So what we know about Maryam alayhi salam is that Allah Azza wa Jal named her and her dad. He said Maryam ibn Imran. So we knew that her father's name is Imran. And the Sahaba like Ibn Abbas, they said her mom's name is Hinna. And that's what we know about her. We don't have too much detail about her life, how she grew, because the Quran in general doesn't go through details. Just go what we need to know. That's the Quran, subhanallah. So Allah Azza wa Jal talk about her mom, that the beginning of it, she said, you know, subhanallah, how she makes dua to Allah Azza wa Jal. And then she said that Allah Azza wa Jal, you know, asking Allah Azza wa Jal to give her, she was pregnant. So she asked Allah Azza wa Jal to give her a boy, that she was going to make him stand for the service of the masjid, is Jerusalem.
You're talking about Maryam's mom, right? Before Maryam was born. Yes.
That's before Maryam was born.
Yes.
So she was something known in Bani Israel, that they, you know, promised Allah Azza wa Jal, if I have a boy, to just stand that son for the masjid. So he will spend most of his time in the masjid, cleaning the masjid, learning the book, helping the people who do i'tikaf or do salah in the masjid, to be a servant for the masjid. So that's what she, you know, she promised Allah Azza wa Jal. If she had a boy, that's what she would do. Time she was pregnant, she was hoping, you know, that's the boys and he's going to go and be in the serve of the masjid. But after she had the baby, it was a girl, it wasn't a boy. So Allah Azza wa Jal narrated about her, how she was surprised. She was talking to Allah, oh Allah, I asked you a boy, but she's a girl, you know. What I'm supposed to be doing? She's a girl. This didn't happen before. The girl would never go to the masjid to serve the masjid. But she promised Allah Azza wa Jal, so she fulfilled that promise. She goes through it. So, but they have to do it in a different way because she was a girl. So they built the area. They said a section, you know, in the side of the masjid, for her, if she, you know, go to the masjid to clean it up, and after that, if she would sit there and do, you know, remembering Allah Azza wa Jal, doing any worship or learning the books. So that's what she did, radiallahu anha, you know. We have one story that Allah Azza wa Jal tell about her the time she was young, that her dad passed away, and their culture is they have to sign a male figure for the child who go orphan. So that male figure will take care of her, watch after her, you know, provide her if she need. So her provider was Zakaria alayhi salam.
Mm.
And then what an honor to be, Zakaria as a prophet, to be, your wakil for that orphan child. And Zakaria, the right or correct is what's related to her, that he is uncle. So he's the husband of her aunt, her mom's sister. That's the relationship between Maryam and Zakaria alayhi salam.
So after her dad passed away, Zakaria used to take care of her if they need a male figure in her life. Yes, mashallah.
Yeah. So Zakaria alayhi salam, he was allowed to go to her mihrab, to the place she's sectioned in the masjid side to worship Allah Azza wa Jal, to bring her food, to make sure she's safe and fine. So Allah Azza wa Jal say amazing things about her. There's some miracles already happened the time she was young. That every time Zakaria go there, he finds she already had food, and she had fruits. And what amazing about these fruit are they out of the season fruit. So if she in the summertime, she having a winter fruit, and if she in the winter, she had a summer fruit. So in Zakaria, subhanAllah, he was a prophet, and he knew Allah Azza wa Jal can do anything, but he's surprised, like how amazing, how are you getting all this? Where are you getting all this? So she said, that's from Allah Azza wa Jal, and Allah Azza wa Jal will, provide if he wanted to provide.
It's like Allah preparing Maryam for new things in her life in the future, subhanAllah.
So Allah is just showing her some miracle, that training her, her life is going to be a difference than everybody else, because her miracle starts, right there. And then she said, Inna Allah yarzuqu man yasha'u bighayri hisab. Like Allah Azza wa Jal provide who he wants without accounting. If he wanted to give rizq, then he would give, subhanAllah, without accounting. And then some even narrator, the tafsir people, they said that she inspired Zakaria to make dua, to ask Allah Azza wa Jal to give him child, because he was old and he didn't have kids before. But he saw how Allah Azza wa Jal providing her, So he said, I can make dua to Allah Azza wa Jal, to even if I'm seeing it too late, maybe Allah will give it to me, subhanAllah. So he learned from child, to make dua. That's her life, the time she was young. That's the only what we knew from the Quran. Quran didn't narrate anything about her life more than that. Some people, they said, did she, how she grow after that? What happened in her life? But Allah Azza wa Jal tell us that story the time she was a child. And what we know is that she grown in a masjid. And then she was worshiping, Allah Azza wa Jal in a place that called a mihrab. And that's the section they signed it for her. Something else that Maryam alayhi salam mentioned in the Quran, and like more than, subhanAllah, like 34, she mentioned in the Quran 34 times, in 12 different surahs.
Mm-hmm. Subhanallah.
And then amazing about her is that she had a surah on her names, Surah Maryam.
Subhanallah.
But like all the surah, and then if you go in the surah, it's not just only her story, not like Surah Yusuf, like all of it in his story. No, Surah Maryam have different stories. Zakaria's stories there, Yahya mentioned there, but Allah Azza wa Jal honor her to give her that surah, subhanAllah, because Allah Azza wa Jal wants us to look at her story closely and try to, take the benefit from it, subhanAllah.
SubhanAllah. What's an amazing family, SubhanAllah. We have Ali Imran, we have Maryam and her mom that promising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you have the Prophet Zakaria alayhi salam, and Maryam in her younger age, inspire prophets to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Allah al-Razzaq and providing the fruit in the winter, in the summer, fruit of the winter in summer, and the opposite, subhanAllah, then what an amazing story. So the surah is called Surah Ali Imran. That's
the beginning.
Maryam's family is Ali Imran's family, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Allah Azza wa Jal give her a name and a surah on her family name and her own name.
And her name. Stay tuned, mashallah. Inshallah, we're going to talk more about Maryam alayhi salam in other coming days. So please stay tuned, inshallah. Jazakallah khair, Sister Fatima.
Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.